Hello viewers, welcome once again to Smart Agro Innovation, your channel that teaches much about agriculture in a much smarter way, using locally available materials to do the wonders in the field of agriculture. Before we start, I would like to use this opportunity to thank our subscribers and our viewers for making this day a reality but not a fantasy. Before then, we used to stand in an uncompleted building. Today, through your massive support, we have moved to the Farmers Lecture Room. Here is our new Farmers Lecture Room. That is where we're doing most of our presentations. Today, we are going to talk about how to determine the apical meristem of plantain / banana during multiplication process. Most of our viewers and most of our subscribers chat me backdoors asking of how to determine the eye of the sucker. Today, your most wanted video is here. As we've been doing, we are going to do this presentation to explain things in detail. After that, we will move to our field to watch what is there, because our lecture room is close to our field. So from here, we move to the field to watch the much more practical one. Let us now focus on the classroom discussion. After that, then we move to the field for another clarification. Thank you very much for watching. Now, let's move on. Today, we are going to move on how to determine the apical meristem or the eye of banana / plantain during multiplication. So that is our topic for today. So, to carry on or to move on, we are going to look at the morphology of the plantain itself. We know that if you go in for plantain, this is the structure. We have something like this. We shall move you to the field for you to see much more stuff. Let's say this is the base or the apical meristem of the this is the pseudostem. The whole thing, let's say this is the pseudostem. So these are the roots. The root of the plantain, and this is the pseudostem, the base. Yeah. Now, if you look at the base closely, you see that there is an inner portion or an internal portion which is made of ring, something like this. And that is the apical meristem. You see the sheets also joining in, the sheets will mature into the leaves. So this is the apical meristem. Now, we consider this as Smart Agro Innovation. We try to make things simple for you. So we consider this as the eye of the plantain. The eye of the plantain, which is the internal portion or the true stem of the plantain, carries the most important parts of the plantain, and that is the reproductive parts, the male and the female parts. They will mature to form the stalk, and after the formation of the stalk, you see that there will be flowers and fruit bunch formations. All those things will be there. We are going to do this clarification. From there, we move to the field, so you watch it yourself. So this is the eye or the apical meristem. During the stages of growth, all these things will move. They will start growing. This apical meristem or the eye will grow, and it's located at the central part of the stem. In fact, the stem of the plantain is the ascending part of the plantain. It grows to form the stalk. So it is inside the plantain. We'll take you to the field and dissect it for you to see clearly. So it will grow to a certain level, and at maturity, when the plantain is about to fruit, so let's assume these are the leaves of the plantain. So these sheets will form the leaves, these ones. So at a point in time, you see that the apical meristem or the true stem will grow to a certain level, then it starts to develop into stalk. The flower formation will also be there. Let's see. This is the fruit, but you see that the flower will be formed. Then the fruit branches will also start forming. These are the fruits. This is the stalk. This is the flower part. So the apical meristem will mature from here, from the middle, start fruiting and reach this level, which looks so nice. So this is the stalk. You see something like this. Also there. So if you should name, this is the stalk. This is the fruit bunch, the fruit. This is the flower. That at the growth level, when it reaches maturity, this flower will fall off. Yeah. So, in a nutshell, this is the surface area. And let's say this is the roots. These are the roots. This forms the pseudostem. And this is our apical meristem. So, those who have been asking of the eye of the plantain, we want to use this opportunity once again to explain before we take you to the field where we are going to do the multiplication. Now, if you take a plantain, here, let's say this is a plantain plant itself. The base, which is here, which extend the stem, the base here is called the pseudostem. The pseudostem. Inside the pseudostem, we have the sheaths, the one which form the leaves. It's like a network. So, inside there you see a ring, something like a ring, whitish in color, found at the central part of the pseudostem, and that is called the apical meristem. This apical meristem, I would say, is the heart, is the mother, is the father of the plantain or the banana stem. So, it extends its growth at the central part of the banana or the plantain. When it reaches maturity, it grows to form the stalk. The stalk will produce the flowers, which will form the fruit, that's the fruit bunches, through a process known as parthenocapy. I don't know, say parthenocapy or botany. That one will come there. We will do those explanations later in most of our videos ahead. So we'll talk about that, the flower formation, whether plantain or banana, involved in fertilization or not. All those things shall be explained vividly for the purpose of our viewers. Now, we have the whole thing, the whole show here. So should you care to ask of the eye, this is how it is. Let me explain once again for the last time. Let's say this is our plantain or banana plant. We have the base, which is called the single stem. The single stem, inside the single stem, we have the apical meristem. That is the central part of the single stem. It extends through the stem, which is the ascending part of the banana or the plantain. It grows to the middle or the central part, matures to form the stalk and the flowers, where fruit formation starts. Now, during multiplication, since this is the eye, this is the heart of the whole banana or plantain plant, this one is the one which multiplies in number. We'll take you to the field. When you get there, you see that you are going to make some incisions at the surface area of the eye. We are going to cross cut and remove the eye. When we do that, instead of the plant after cutting, instead of it to mature and grow through the stem, it cannot. So cell division will take place, and when that happens, it will split. Splitting will also take place, like the process of triplets or twins in humans. So it will split. When it split, that is when you see it producing pupils around. So let me make such a thing here. Let's say this is the base. During multiplication, we have it on the fold. You see that we get the pseudostem. We have the stem itself extending. Then we cut. When we cut, we will get something like this at the surface area. We see our apical meristem in here. We make incisions. Then we drill inside. When that happens, then the eye is supposedly to be distinct and to be found in each of the cortex here. When that happens, automatically, it is going to give us either 4 young suckers. You see that it will be formed. So here will form 1. We will demonstrate that to you on the fold. This one will also give us 1. This will also give us 1. This will also give us 1. So, in a nutshell, you see that either we get 3, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one will be the first generation on the surface. For the purpose of your understanding, after this discussion, should you have any question or anything, you can put it in the comment box and we'll discuss on it. Now, let's move to the field and observe the practical things to be done. Let's go.
Yeah, so you can see that the apical meristem matures to form the stalk of the plantain. This is the stalk of the plantain that contains the fruit bunches. You see that this is a healthy plantain, you know. The apical meristem grows, that is the true stem. It grows through the pseudostem, and at a point in time, it contains the reproductive part of the plantain. Yeah. So you can see that it runs through the stem, passes here and forms the stalk, and that gives us the fruit bunches. Yeah. So basically, that is how the apical meristem is. It grows right from the base upwards, stretches, forms the reproductive part of the plantain that contains the male and the female part, and later on develop into fruit bunches. We will go deep into the actual morphology of the whole thing, of the whole stalk, as we move along. Yeah, so that is how it is. Welcome to the field. From the classroom, we proceed from the field. How to determine the apical meristem or the eye of the plantain stroke banana during multiplication. Let's watch something. This is our field. We have a lot of suckers here. A lot of more of them. Now, let's move and see the ones which are due for smart multiplication, quick multiplication. Now, I think this one is due for multiplication. We are going to cut it. This is not the offspring of this. No, it is there on its own. So for you to get a full understanding, you are going to get this one out of here. So now, for the purpose of the video, this stands alone. Now, we told you earlier, this is the pseudostem. This is where the pseudostem is found. Inside the pseudostem, we have the apical meristem. The apical meristem matures to form the inner leaf. And this matures at maturity to become the stalk, which forms the fruit bunch. So we are going to cut, we are going to dissect it for you to get a full understanding of the whole thing. So let's move. We are removing the sheet. They are still close to the apical meristem. So you can see clearly that indeed this is the internal part of our plantain. That is the apical meristem, the eye, the plantain or the banana. So you can see. Yeah, it's very nice for the purpose of our viewers, for them to get full understanding. That's how I want to get a full gist of any information we put out there. Now you can see it is real. This is our pseudostem. These are the sheets which form the leaves. And this is what we term as an apical meristem, an apical meristem. This I call the heart, the father, the mother of the whole stem of plantain. This one carries the genetic constitution of the whole plantain sucker or the banana sucker, as you can see. So now we are going to, this one grows to form the inner leaf. So this one, this is it. It extends from here, then to the inner leaf, the last leaf. So we are still dissecting to get it right. You can see. So this is the apical meristem. This one carries the genetic constitution of the plantain, the male and the female heart. Yes. So we have it. That's the whitest thing. This is the last layer. Good. So you can see this is the apical meristem. Good. This is our apical meristem, which extend to grow to reach the stalk. You can see this is our apical meristem. Drag from top to up. So you can see this is the apical meristem. It extends to the last leaf. This is the heart of the plantain. That is most important during multiplication. Yeah. So let's cut it. Good. So we've taken this away. This is no more needed. Now we have our Apical Meristem. You see how it is? This is the pretty of agriculture. You won't get this anywhere. Smart agro innovation will let you get it. So this is our Apical Meristem. It forms the last leaf inside. Yeah, so it's here like this. Yeah, so we are removing it. This is the eye. This contains the genetic constitution. It contains the flower. It contains the male and the female part of the whole plant. Now we are going to do our multiplication right away. Very simple. So at least we still have the Apical Meristem here. We do have it again. We want it to be a little bit short to also promote faster germination. So at least we are good to go. This is our Apical Meristem. You can see it clearly. You can see it clearly here. So we are doing our incision. We are cutting in such a way that the Apical Meristem contains in both, and then we kill it. You will see that the pipets or the second generation will start coming out of this. So we have it here. We are removing it since it is contained in all the halves. Now it's gone. But because we have the pseudostem, it is still active for growth. Therefore, you can see that there is translocation of water. That's the phloem and the xylem movement. All those things. You know, that is a bit biology. Forget about my technical words actually. So yeah, this whole thing is not dead. It will continue to grow. So it growth stages. Once it will not be able to that. Indeed, when we did the incision, we had to scrape off the eye. You can see that even now there's water inside. Yeah, the food that will be the nutrients, the waters that will be translocated from the base to the tip of the whole plantain is now here. Now the pseudostem is such that it will still continue its growth stages or its life processes. Therefore, when that happens, these things will split out. So automatically we are going to get about 3 or 4 second generation with the parent, because it is going to feed them. So when it gets here, cell division will take place and they will split. Instead of the apical meristem continuing to grow, at a certain point in time, it will split out, like the process of triplets, or let's say quadruplets, or let's say twins in human. It works the same way. So that is how it is. Let me cut again. Yeah, so we have everything well done. Yeah, then after this process, you cover with the sawdust. You cover with the sawdust, and that is it. I'm not going to expose the root, no. So that is it. You leave it for the period of 14 days upwards. You'll see that sprouting will begin. So that is how it is. Now, after 14 days to 30 days, you will see that indeed there had been cell division has taken place and there had been germination. So you see that there will be second generation rising from each of the pseudostem where the multiplication was done. They have done a lot. Let's go and watch some of the practical results. So you will see that we have one here. Here is it. This is only 21 days. It started sprouting within 14 days. So you can see they look very healthy. The second generation look very, very healthy, very nice as compared to the first generation. So you can see very nice, the leaves, everything is growing, you know. So this is how for you to believe it. Let's look at the base for you to believe it. Yeah. So you see that the apical meristem is now dead, but the pseudostem is still active, so providing nutrient for these ones. You know, here we got only 3, so automatically you see that you get 3 or 4. So that's how it is. It is real. At Smart Agro, we let you understand agriculture very well. Let's cover, because some is likely to come. So when it happens that with this one is grown, you can just detach it and plant it on the field. Expose the leaf. So you can see that the leaf is here. This is ready for planting onto the field. It is very, very, very healthy. This is the second generation. Yeah. The first generation after multiplication, and this is the second generation. If we can decide to also remove the 2 and leave this one there to be with the parent, it will grow to a certain diameter. Then you can still do your multiplication again and again. It is very simple. Let's move to another one. So this is another one. After the whole carton incision, you see that we had another healthy second generation. They are very healthy. Very, very healthy. Yes. So here we had 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like the incision that we did. So with this multiplication method, it's either you get 4 or more, or list of 3. So let's see the base. Now you're exposing the apical meristem once for you to see that it's real. This is what we did. You see? Yeah, it's still there. See that the eye is dead. But the apical the pseudostem is still active. Very fresh. It's not dead. You can see it's not dead. Yeah, so it is providing all this. You see that we divided it into 4. This one had it portion, this one had it portion, this one had it portion, this one had it portion. So we had 4. Yeah, at Smart Agro Innovation, everything we do is real. We get a result before we prove to you. So let's cover it. So we are going to do this multiplication over and over again. One most important thing is that these suckers are very, very healthy. Yeah, so you can decide to take the 3 and leave 1 there. So you continue with another multiplication. You can still take this to the field. They are very, very, very healthy. Thank you for watching. This is Smart Agro Innovation once again. Yeah, I am Anthony Beidou, the main brain behind the establishment of Smart Agro Innovation. We continue to give you much more practical videos for you to believe in what we are doing. That is why we take you from the classroom and then we take you back to the field to get a full understanding. Thank you, and thank you for supporting us and being there with us. God richly bless you. Should today is your first day of watching us, please kindly subscribe to our channel, share to friends, farmers, so that they can also see what is moving on around plantains and bananas. Thank you very much for watching. Should you need our contact, at the tail end of the video, you can see that our contacts, everything and location, everything is there. Contact us for business. Thank you very much for watching.